was going to start with the nation. It's quiet in PDP, not NWC, over the 10 billion naira nomination fees. Anxieties as CBN sets to raise interest rates to new high. Court fixes Wednesday for judgment in Messina versus the One case. Can president to youth don't be politicians' body shields? Anti-oil theft. IG confirms seizure of 123 vessels. Why we have not endorsed Peter Obi by Ohanaeze. And petrol subsidy hits 2.57 trillion naira as supply rises by 10%. All right, which story are we starting with?
I'll start with the oil theft. The IGP, that's the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, was speaking with the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on investigating oil lifting, theft, and the impact on petroleum production and revenue. So while speaking to them, he revealed that his special task force on petroleum and illegal bunkering confiscated 123 oil vessels, and these vessels comprise of tankers, lorries, barges, buses, and other vehicles. He said the unit had also seized over 1.3 million litres of AGO, that's diesel, 135,000 litres of crude oil, over 4,000 litres of PMS, that's petrol, and 45,000 litres of engine oil. He also said that they're also in the process of prosecuting 52 oil theft-related cases nationwide. He also assured that he's working on developing the capacity of their officers so that they get practical training and acquire top-notch investigative and operational assets to sustain the fight against oil theft and other crimes that's capable of sabotaging the country's economy. This was just giving a rundown. They also gave specific examples of people that have been arrested, some of the places that they have gone in the creeks where some of this illegal bunkering is happening, and some of the places that they've closed down. So it's just to show that the police is fighting this war against oil theft and giving us a report on that.
So let me take the Medical and Dental Council Association, Council of Nigeria. Sorry, that's the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. They, also have a tribunal, and it's fortunate to know that 7 doctors are presently being tried, and 2 are already slated for judgment. I like that they gave the names of these doctors, but they didn't say what offenses they are being tried for. Generally misconduct, alleged professional misconduct. So this gives us hope. Nigerians constantly call out some doctors for mismanaging patients, but then you will not hear the end of that issue. So I love that the council has brought out the list of those 7 of them that they are presently trying and looking forward to judgment for their cases. I hope that the details of whatever it was, the issues will come out when the trial.
All right, so the spokesperson for Ohanaeze Ndi Igbo, that's, let me get the name, I think is Mr. Ogbonna. I'm trying to get the first name. He has said that Ohanaeze will not directly endorse Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and the reason is because he said that I don't support anybody running Peter Obi down. He says that Peter Obi is not for Ohanaeze. He's a national candidate, and it will be self-glorification to begin to endorse yourself. So according to him, Ohanaeze's philosophy has been to get a president from the Igbo extraction, and now that's been achieved as a candidate in the coming elections, that they are fine with that, and they have members across all parties, so they cannot be glorifying Peter Obi individually, that they cannot criticize the former governor of Abia State or the governor of, I think, Abia State, the former governor of Ebonyi State, and former governor of Imo State, Uzodimma, for supporting their own APC candidate. That there are different members within all parties, but they would not, as an organization, formally endorse Peter Obi.
I want to take what the CAN president said. So the Christian Association of Nigeria, the president, Daniel Oko, has urged Nigerians to use their PVC and avoid becoming, I like the word he used, body shields of politicians, saying that no Nigerians should carry arms against each other based on any political difference. But we should be intelligent enough to know that in the past election period, some politicians have promised have induced elections and have not fulfilled the promises to electorate. He said they offered inducement on election, they only to disappear after their victory, and that Nigerians should be wiser. Use your PVC in order to vent your anger against politicians, not taking arms from yourself to hurt another Nigerian. And I think this is the message I want to hear more of from Khan.
Punch, politics and security. Demand for bulletproof vehicles, special security gadgets surges. Niger at 62 end ASUU strike now, Khan tells federal government. Police seizes 123 oil vessels and other begin prosecution. Nigeria's economic outlook uncertain, welfare worsening, says World Bank. Lagos Ibadan traffic, police kidnappers exchange gunfire, traveler rescued. 7 Lagos passengers burnt in crash, firefighters attacked. And Nigeria's economic outlook uncertain and welfare worsening, says World Bank. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, the Lagos Ibadan traffic. They say the men of the Ogun State Police Command have rescued a kidnapped victim, Shehu Anafi, and have arrested a suspected kidnapper, Ibrahim Abubakar. His name is boldly on the newspaper. The story started that this particular driver driving from Ilorin, he said once they got to, he had 7 passengers with him. When they got to the Long Bridge, and there was traffic, as we all know, so he took one of the untarred access roads. And while they were on the road, a group of men, gunmen, just, stopped them. And everyone got out of the car, ran into the bush. He said after a while, all of them regrouped, got into the car, and realized that one person was missing. So he went and reported, the driver went to the police and reported the case. Thankfully, the police acted quickly. They went into the bush, started looking for these people, and then they found them. They had a gun duel, as they said. Many of them were shot. They ran away with injuries, but one person was captured, and that is the Ibrahim Abubakar. And then the person that was alleged Shehu Anafi, the 62-year-old man that was kidnapped, was also rescued immediately. So well done to the police for a good job.
This is worth celebrating.
And then the police is also asking that if there's anyone, hospitals especially, people that come with gunshot wounds, they should please alert the police. Well done.
Fantastic.
Okay, so following the insecurity issue, the major headline in the Punch has exposed what's the reaction of politicians are to these insecurities as they are preparing for the 2023 elections. Punch article says that they've seen an increase in the demand for bulletproof SUVs and cars. They also took an inventory of several attacks on politicians traveling on the roads, especially in the southeast, and they made emphasis on the Ifeanyi Ubah's attack. They also talked about Dino Melaye, took an inventory of all of them, but now there's serious demand in reaction to that, and that is simply an admission to the insecurity that most of them shy away from talking about.
So there was an accident that happened at Iyana-Oworo, inbound Third Mainland Bridge. 7 people were burnt to death. It happened on Sunday in a Mazda bus, and according to the report, the driver was at full speed when this happened, and he hit a covert, and the bus was flipped over and caught fire. He did not keep to one lane. I was trying to connect into the Iyana-Oworo. So, according to him, when he got to the Y junction, the driver tried to join the lane, but suddenly a vehicle obstructed him by the side, and he swerved back, hit the covert, and the tire burst since it was on stop speed, and the burnt to death. I mean, bystander tried to rescue a few people, but unfortunately, none was able to be rescued. Many of them. This happened at 2:43 p.m. on Sunday. According to the reports, the local Iju fire station also, the closest station to help put out the fire as soon as they heard.
But they couldn't even get there. People were now hurling. They were hurling different items at them, even as they were trying to get to the place. Even though they were late, at least you'd have allowed them to try and put out the fire.
No, I don't know, maybe they missed primary school, but now we respect bullion vans and the sirens more than we respect ambulances, fire trucks. We need to educate people.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Who's talking Punch? Not taking your story, Tokwe.
No, I haven't. So Khan is speaking to still the same. Essentially, it's linked to the story I took earlier, where Khan president was speaking at the event on Wednesday, and he was calling out to, that's Dr. Daniel Oko, was calling out to the federal government and the leadership of the academic unions Academic Staff Union of Universities to end the 7-month-old strike. He's saying that Nigeria at 62, the issues that were facing, because it was an Independence Day event, a service to mark Independence Day in advance, and it was calling on the federal government to do all that is necessary to end the strike. He also mentioned how, like, several things are not working, that the year 2023 is the year of our test as a nation, and rather than, it was just a case of, this is the time to,
right.
We experienced a lot in 2020 with the end and we should do better, that the ASUU should end the strike action. Federal government should listen to them and do whatever it takes to resolve the issue.
Daily Sun, Wike's camp plots for Mimiko to replace ASUU. 2023, don't vote leaders who will kill you, Jonathan warns Nigerians. 2023, we are consulting for Pan-Nigeria platform, says Dogara. Oshodi Tribunal begins sitting as Oyetola PDP expressed confidence in judiciary. Bauchi bans female students from studying with male in same classroom. Obasanjo Okonjo-Iweala push for increased investment in electricity. And pipeline surveillance, Governor Diri, INC resolved Tompolo and Asari Ateke rift. Okay, let's start with the interesting Bauchi story.
Yes, let me start with the story in Bauchi State. So it's in Bauchi, beginning today, male and female students in secondary schools in 5 towns in Bauchi State can no longer study together in one classroom or engage in other extracurricular activities together in the state. The Commissioner for Education, Dr. Aliyu Tilde, was the one that confirmed this new policy. He said that they had to take this decision, especially in schools in Bauchi, Misa, Ningi, Jamare, Azare areas. And he also said that they took this decision to promote morals among children in secondary school. They said that they've seen an increase in immorality, especially sexual immorality amongst their students, and that they are afraid that because of this immorality will affect the gains of education that they have, achieved in the past 10 years. He said that most of these children are of the age where they are coming into themselves sexually and so experimenting, that it has even led to the point where some of them really young are marrying each other. And for them, this just shows that eventually parents may get spooked and take their children out of school, and all the gains, of course, of education over the years will be lost because of these sexual immoralities. And so for them, they feel that this is the best way to handle it, to separate them for classes and for extracurricular activities. I took this story, I found it quite interesting, and I'm happy that we put other things into consideration. And this may not be maybe the best way, but I think it's a good first step to take until they can sit down and find, because there is a positive in when they mingle, when they interact socially and intellectually. Yes, but then if this is a problem, I like that they're handling it quickly.
Former president of the country, of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, was at Uyo on the 35th anniversary of the state. And he used that opportunity to talk to Nigerian electorate to vote wisely. He said, do not vote killers. He said that those who will kill to become leaders will also kill to remain in office, to remain leaders. And that, Nigerians should be very careful. Those who will carry knives, guns, and other gadgets to go and kill people because of politics are enemies of society. And I agree. Guns. Yes?
Sorry, I thought you said nice guns.
Knives.
Oh, okay. Knives.
Okay. Maybe my tongue has affected it. So sometimes we lose my consonants. It's from my place. So he said knives, guns, and who kill people, that they are enemies of society. I agree with him totally. He also commended the governor of the state, for his achievement and in his administration. But then he particularly emphasized that we should not focus on only governorship. They should focus on House of Assembly, houses, National Assembly offices as well, and carefully select leaders. I think that's the way to go.
All right, so former President Olusegun Obasanjo was also speaking at the United Nations General Assembly. He was talking about power. According to him, was specifically saying that it's imperative that Africans and their friends and their partners ensure development to put together and raise sufficient investment to get enough power to help Africa, because without power, we cannot develop Africa. And also the World Trade Organization boss, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, also echoed the same thing, saying that there's the continent cannot industrialize or have solid continental manufacturing base without power and energy. According to her, according to the International Energy Agency, we need about $28 billion annual investment to cover that gap in investment in power. And that's the only way Africa can develop. And they said quite a few things, saying that even as we strive towards renewable energy, we must focus on mutually beneficial energy investment for Africa and the world by taking opportunities to harness this growth.
So a couple of weeks back, a contract was awarded to Tompolo to secure our pipelines against the crude oil theft. It was a 48 billion naira contract, 4 billion naira per month. And this has led to crisis within the Niger Delta people. And the crisis now, the governor of Bayelsa State has stepped in to resolve the crisis between Tompolo, King Ateke, and King Ateke, Tom, and Chief Asari Dokubo, saying that Asari Dokubo and Tompolo are brothers. We are all brothers. We shouldn't let this contract given to one person now cause division and take peace away from the community. So his drive was to bring peace back to the community and encourage every one of them to work together. The contract might have gone to one person, but everybody is going to execute the contract.
Yeah.
And
Everybody will be paid, and all hands must be on deck to secure the oil pipelines. However, I want to mention what the Ijaw Youth Council spokesperson mentioned at the end of this meeting, because they were also presented there. He said that the military is culpable in the oil thefts, and that the military, in doing a cover-up, according to him, that it is in cover-up that they have been committing genocide within some Niger Delta community, mentioning 5, Tuoma, Bili, Okogbe, Udoda communities of Degema and Hoda local government areas have been victims of genocide carried by the military in the Niger Delta region. For them, the military comes in to say that there is oil pipeline being, vandalism is taking place there, and then killings take place within their communities. And they're saying, you people are the one causing the problem. We would work with the military to protect the pipeline, but we don't want the military to take advantage of our people or hurt our people. And I think that this is not a newspaper release and announcement. It should be duly investigated, because we're losing a lot of money and we don't want to lose lives as well.
This is an allegation that
Let's add that the leader of PANDEV, that's the Pan Niger Delta Forum, Chief Edwin Clark, is also looking at resolution, supporting all these resolutions the governor is doing. My concern is that, these are the same players over the years, and the communities continue to remain impoverished. So I hope that this time the job people eye open, that, they're asking for more than just pipeline surveillance.
You cannot, what's the
when
thing?
we used to share, we go there together, that kind of thing.
You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So those are the same people that have been doing it for years and who are in poverty. Let's move on quickly to Vanguard. Let's find a story we've not taken. PFN ex-SGF Lawal disowned bishops that met Tinubu. PDP crisis, Atiku reaches out, moves to break Wike's ranks. Pipeline surveillance, Diri, INC, I think you just took that story. No plan to sell TCN, says BPE. ASUU resorting to litigation will prolong strike, says parents and NANS. Insecurity in Nigeria passing through hard times, says United Nations. Serap sues FG for refusing to publish Abacha's $23 million loot. And don't vote for 2023. Don't vote for killers in 2023. Jonathan charges Nigerians. Okay, which story?
Okay, let's do NANS and
ASUU.
And NAPTAP, that's the Nigerian Parents Teachers Association of Nigeria. They are worried that this ASUU has ended up in court. And court processes, there will be adjournment, there might not be speedy trials. They're saying this will further cause hardship on the student, that, federal government should find an out-of-court solution to this. I think out-of-court is always faster. I hope that they...
But when it's a special case like this, is there no way that the court can expedite, its process?
Yes, of course.
So that
Not really the court alone. Sometimes it is the lawyers that are delaying.
No, apart from that, courts sometimes are overwhelmed. There are other cases aside that are presently in court already, just because it's politically...
I was just going to... we've all been asking what happened to the Abacha loot, but thank God Serap is taking the federal government to court to find out why they have not released the details of how the $23 million that was stolen by Abacha was used, and they need the government. And according to them, let me see, in the suit, Serap said that the Nigerian Constitution and the Freedom of Information Act and the country's international obligation imposed transparency obligations on the federal government to widely publish the agreement on the $23 million loot. So we're waiting for them to do that so that we can see. Let's move on very quickly now to, we don't have any more time. Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. But